Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, we're going to talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Just kidding. The Scorpion God, not the Scorpion King. This is actually the last one from Hour. I will have Hour of Devastation done after this, so that's cool. Scorpion God is, man, he's the the littler brother of the three Devastation Gods. I mean, the other two are so amazing. He kind of gets overshadowed, but he can be an absolute beast. Now, the -1 I like the fact that this is card drawing like black red doesn't get. Yeah, if you just use his ability, you're going to dump a ton of mana just to draw one card, but hey, you're also killing a creature. But, them's the odds. So, what I did was I was like, well, first off, I feel like we're going to want this guy pretty quick. So, let's do some ramp. Of course, Key Rune, Cluestone, Signet, and Border Post are I use quite a bit simply because they are the Rakdos mana fixers. I've also got the Manolith, a Mind Stone. Thank you for making this common now. And a Mana Vault, because Living the Dream is turn 1 Mana Vault, turn 2 Scorpion King, or God, Rock, whatever. So then I focused on, like, hey, stuff that has -1/-1 counters. Now, Gnarled Effigy came to mind, and yeah, it's pretty slow. 4 to cast, 4 to use. I mean, but more than likely, this is one of those things you're going to put out there, and you're going to do it if you have any mana left over at the end of the turn that's right before yours. Of course, Diabolic Tutor is our panic button, if you will. We got a lot of the... Obviously, he plays a lot with the theme of the Almond Kit with the -1/-1. So there's the Torment of Venom, Splendid Agony. Now, I'm using the Liliana's Influence. I like it. It puts a 1/1 on everything that ain't yours. And I'm actually using that Lily because, she does all the things that you're wanting to do with this deck. So, props to her. Now, Bowfly Infestation is a have to. Just, I mean, your -1 counters essentially just don't go away. Nest of Scarabs is, of course, the brother to that card. You get some insect tokens. And then Crumbling Ashes. Yeah, just, at the beginning of your upkeep, shoot something down. Now, Incremental Blight is just amazing. It's way better than the green version. Way better than the green version. But it is really good. You potentially can kill... Normally, I get about 2 creatures out of this, unless, there's randomly a bird out there or something that you can hit the -1 with. And then if you've got the Rock out there, you're going to draw a couple cards. If you tack on draw 2 cards to this, it becomes super duper mythic. Now, Blur of Blades. This is probably just going to shoot down a 1/1 or, bolt the bird, if you will. And, you get 2 damage out of the deal. If you can kill it or maybe finish off with a combat trick, you can draw your card out of the deal. Puncture Blast. There again. It's going to die with a -1/-1 counter on it. Now, that brings me to Wither. Now, Wither It deals damage in the form of -1/-1 counters to creatures. So it wasn't too long for me to come up with the Everlasting Torment. I do like that, damage can't be prevented. Don't really care about the life gain, but, giving all damage wither, it's kind of beautiful. Fist of the Demigod is going to make our general pretty disgusting. Now, keep in mind, y'all know I'm playing with Rogue's Passage, right? So remember this. We'll come back to Rogue's Passage. Now, Needle Spectre is flying in Wither. And hey, they discard a few cards. That's fine. All your black creatures gain Wither because, some of them don't. So, covering our bases here. The Baleful Ammit, and then, of course, when he got the treatment, I guess, the Ammit Eternal. Bane Whip Punisher. A lot of these are just Festering Mummy, Soulscar Mage, Ruthless Sniper, Magmaroth. It can be your creatures that die with the counters. You still get to draw the card. But you get this guy cheap because he's got the counter on him, and then you can remove the counter. So Skin Render is more times than not just going to kill something when it comes into play. And then you're going to draw a card, which is really neat. And a lot like him is the Soul Snuffer. Each creature. Now, I'm telling you what, if somebody has gone nuclear with Elves or Pegasi or something like that, you stand to draw some cards. Now, FY, there are a lot of good cards that didn't make it into the deck because, it wasn't what I was trying to do or I didn't own them. Most of the time that was the case. Midnight Banshee is amazing and should be in here, but sadly, don't have her. But, yeah, thought about doing the when I draw, everybody loses life thing too, but I don't know. I've done that so much. Trying to do something different. Merciless Javelineer. Hey, if you just keep getting flooded on land, you can. And the ability, the big MVP part of this is that creature can't block this turn. All about getting creatures not to block because that's a good thing. Lockjaw Snapper's another Wither guy. Soul Stinger. Thunderblust. TNT. I'm sorry. Korath Knight. It's a flying Wither. And with counters on them. Any kind of, if they've got +1 counters on them, then they can't block. If they've got charge counters, divinity counters, whatever, counters on them, they just can't block. More than likely, they're going to have -1 counters because, that's how we're rolling. And if we just got to put the -1 counter on there the old-fashioned way, we will with the Fevered Convulsions. Now, the Archfiend of Ifnir. Now, we ain't... this is a beater, okay? It's a flying beater. I'm using the cycle lands, the common cycle lands. So there's 6 of those, and I don't think there's any more cycling or voluntary discard or what have you, but now the Carnufex Demon, he's another one that's cheap because he comes into play with the counters, but you just swap those counters out. Each other creature. That's ridiculous. And I'm getting really close here, so we're not fitting the whole frame. So let's move up a little bit. Now, with -1, oh, I'm sorry, Hate Flare. Now, the untap symbol, so what I like here is this guy is just a toolbox in and of himself. Now, he's a 5/5 wither, so that right there says I just don't want to block him, because it's permanent damage, essentially, is what the -1/-1 count, or what wither is. So, and then once you declare him as an attacker, you can spend the 3 mana, untap him, he can shoot down a creature. He's still attacking, he's just untapped now. That doesn't remove him from combat. But you just shot another creature for -5, and whoa. Now, here's a big boy, Mr. Grim Poppet. You just move the counters here, so you are essentially getting a 7 or a 4/4 for 7 mana, and you're popping 3 counters. So now, with Wither and all the -1/-1 cards, I kind of looked and I went, you know what? I need the Contagion Engine and the Clasp. So, and I'll be honest with you, I looked at it down there and I went, I don't know if I want to go there, but we're already so far down this rabbit hole. Infect is just right around the corner. So, you know what? I went with it. So we got Plague Stinger, which is amazing because it flies. Now, there's a large percentage of creatures that do not fly that just is not going to block it. So that's a beautiful thing. Plague Mirror is a mana rock. Yes, it can die, but it has Infect. More times than not, this is a Mind Stone that just dies to something. But it does have the Infect. It's Infecti ramp, I guess. The Fallen Ferromancer. Man, I really like this guy because you don't have to attack with him. He can just sit back and just plink people. Creature or player, you can actually poison somebody out without attacking them. And that's beautiful. The Flesh Eater Imp. Sack a dude, he gets bigger to end of turn, but he has Flying and Infect. That's the big thing. Flying and Infect. Now, Icarats, the reason why I'm playing with Icarats is to enable the proliferation, because everybody gets a poison counter. And unless you're paying with roots from homelands, you ain't getting rid of them. Well, or Karn. But Solemnity's going to ruin my day. But that's okay, because Solemnity is supposed to be ruining Modern right now. Standard. Team Your Energy is apparently a thing, and nobody knows about Solemnity. But anyway. Phyrexian Juggernaut is a giant Infect guy, but he has to attack. What a drawback. If I'm paying 6 mana for a 5/5 Infect, you bet your bottom dollar I'm swinging with this guy every turn. That last line is just trinket text, it might as well be. Now, Phyresis, we're not auto-focusing anymore, are we? Whoop, 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 whoop. Sorry, yeah, there we go. Phyresis is just to give our general Infect, because he's a 5/5 or 6/5 rather, and if we can give him Infect, throw him down that Rogue's Passage, we're getting in there. But another cool thing that works with Infect, it doesn't replace it. Poisonous 3. Now, Poisonous is an ability. There aren't that many cards with it because they come up with Infect later anyway. It has Poisonous 3. It's not. It doesn't matter what you put it on. If you put it on a 1/1 and it deals damage to them, they're going to get 3 poison counters. You put it on a 12/12, it's going to only deal 3 poison damage because it's poisonous. Now, with all that infect going around and all that trouble blocking, that is why Howl from Beyond. Yes, and yeah, I did choose the Ice Age art here, but the Howl from Beyond at instant speed, once you get one of your little 1 power flying infect guys through there, or 2 power infect, and maybe somebody's not got a board presence or something, this is just a blowout. More times than not, this is a player killer. And we're only talking if your creature has infect already, which obviously is what you're going to want to cast it on. It's going to have 1 power. So even the max value of this card is 10 mana, 9 and 1 black to give it. And it just, because for some reason, the rules committee has still maintained that Commander has a 10 poison limit. So I think it should be 20 because everything else is doubled. We're at 40 life, damn near double the cards. But anyway, Spread the Sickness is going to destroy a creature and proliferate. Now, this is a 5 mana sorcery, so I mean, yeah, we want it bad, but that proliferate kind of tips it over there. If it was just 5 mana destroy target creature, at sorcery speed, I don't know that I would even consider that. But the ability to potentially kill multiple other things with the -1/-1 counters. Now we're going to get to some utility. Now, the Mana Flares, obviously, I mean, yes, it helps everybody at the table. You've got the group hug factor that everybody, hey, he's doubling our mana, whatever. But our general has mana : effect. So that's really good. And, your Howling Minds and stuff like that. You know what else is really, really good with a lot of mana? The Planeswalker Killer, Hex Parasite. Why this guy is like 69 cents still, I don't know. I think he's just has this one printing in New Phyrexia. Yeah, it's fragile. 1 mana, 1/1. But you know what? More times than not, this is a sorcery that says kill target Planeswalker. Yeah, I mean, it's just how I see it. And also, if they've got some +1/+1 shenanigans going on, you can remove them as well. Loyalty, divinity, anything. But it's got to be on a permanent. I mean, you can't do poison, energy, experience, things like that, because those are on players, not on permanents. But, Hex Parasite is truly amazing, and I don't understand why. One of you guys sent me a message, and the term criminally underplayed was used, and I believe it. Cut to Ribbons is also another, cut, yeah, whatever. Ribbons is, yeah, it's Exsanguinate 2.0. Fumarole, now 5 mana to destroy, and 3 life to destroy a creature and a land. That's value. Ghostly Flame. All those random white loves that protection, and we're playing the 2 colors to, so this way we can put our -1/-1 counters on White Knights and Paladin of Vex galore. And then last but not least, our last card. Boy, this video's got long, 19 minutes. Deathbringer Thoctor. Because it's just going to get bigger the more stuff dies, and that's all we're doing is just killing creatures. So that's what I've got for today. I do apologize for being so long, but there was quite a bit to talk about. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.